Hello, everybody. My name is Josh, and I've got my finger on the pulse of music. That's right. Thank you so much for joining this debut stream where we react to Suicide and Sunshine by Trophy Eyes. It means the world to me that you're all here and that this is the beginning of something great. Really appreciate it. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of this, and I presume you all do. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit about how this is going to work. So I'm going to give a little bit of intro about the artist and the album up front, kind of walk through maybe what went into the making of this, at least what I know. A little bit about my relationship with Trophy Eyes or this album potentially. And then listen track by track. We'll listen together and we'll react as we go, potentially giving each track a rating. And of course, because my finger's on the pulse, my ratings are in 3 different parts. I have a flatline rating, a resting heartbeat rating, and an off the charts rating. And so we'll see where these tracks fall as we progress through the album. Then at the end, we'll of course rate the whole thing out of 10, just kind of give it a number. So that's the run of show for today. Really looking forward to get into this one. I'm actually so excited for this album. My relationship with Trophy Eyes is basically nothing. Anybody in the chat, if you've heard of Trophy Eyes or not, let me know. I discovered this band through a thing called Music League. Also, let me know if anybody ever heard of Music League. I'm going to play Music League before. I know some of you have. Music League it's basically, if you're not familiar with it, it's a sort of game that you play with people, almost like fantasy football, where there's a theme every week, and then you have to submit a song that fits that theme. And then the week of where I heard Trophy Eyes, it was a short songs week where everything must have been under a minute long. And you'll note here that this first track, Sydney, is 59 seconds long. So somebody submitted that track, and I really liked it. I thought this is great. Very happy about it. So I wanted to dig in deeper because this seems like it's an album with a lot of potential. Other than that, never heard Trophy Eyes before. It's my first time listening to it. They're actually coming to Philadelphia, so my Philly peeps, they're coming to Kung Fu Necktie soon, and they're weirdly playing at 1:30 in the afternoon. Not really sure. That's not normal. I don't know why they picked that time, but they are Australian, so maybe it's more like 8 p.m. their time. Let's get into it. Let's get into talking about this album. So I just mentioned Trophy Eyes as a band. They're from Newcastle, Australia. Real quick, why do I like doing this research part? I guess, I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Do you guys research albums before you listen to them or like as you're listening to them? Because I'm definitely that kind of person. I kind of, if I intentionally want to explore new music, a lot of the times instead of just like putting it on, I will go in and kind of do the little bit of like research on albums that I can and see what I get out of it at the end. I think it really like enriches the experience to some extent. So let's enrich together, shall we? They're from Australia. This is their 4th album. This is their latest album, and it was released in 2023. Their first album was released in 2014, so they've been around for a minute. They've had a bit of lineup turnover. They started as a 5-piece and then went on to they switched. The vocalist and the bassist are the only original members. They dropped a member. They split with a couple people. Seeing the chat come in. Thanks so much for interaction. I see my little chat panel up top has the YouTube warning on it. So let's push that thing out of there. Yeah, I love it. Music League is super fun. And those of you that go in fully blind for an album, a lot of people do that, so you're not alone. But yeah, they released this album in 2023, and it was considered to be, they as a band thought that this was going to be their last album ever. There's a nice quote. So they started prior to recording this album. Their previous album was released in 2018. So that's 5 years between releases. That's like an eternity in music land. But so because they were separated, they were feeling some type of way about being separated during the pandemic, because in Australia, the lockdown had some like really strict restrictions. So they couldn't see, they were all scattered through the wind in Australia. They couldn't hang out with each other. They couldn't see each other. They couldn't make music. And that inspired them to create a lot of this. So there's this quote on recording the album from the vocalist, John Floriani. There was this looming air of finality. We were standing around, nobody was talking about it, but we all knew the reason we were together. It's like when someone dies. We were all being happy and friendly, but it was for each other. We were putting on a brave face. We got to Thailand, which is where they recorded the album, and I feel like that feeling went away. So out of the scraps of this feeling came the process of creating this album, and ultimately they feel a lot better now. I don't think this is probably going to be their last album, but time will tell. As you can see in the background, I can actually show it to you a little bit more directly if I get rid of my Spotify here. That's the album cover. This is actually the face of a rapper and artist from Western Sydney named Harry, aka Bayang the Bushranger. So shout out to him. And they actually recreated this from a photo that someone saw on Pinterest. The vocalist saw a photo on Pinterest and then loved it and then recreated it because they couldn't get it. So they talked to their friend and they shot the photo themselves. So this was actually created by the band. I think that's pretty rad. Blind guesses on best song is a great idea, Nikki in the chat says. And I'm going to go out on a limb. You can see the track list on the left, which will stick around the whole time. I'm going to say What Hurts the Most because it's their second most streamed song. And if it's a cover of the Rascal Flatts song, it's going to be a fucking banger. That song is so good. And I don't think it is, but we're on Rascal Flatts watch. So let's be ready. Is there anything else to learn about Trophy Eyes? There's a lot more to learn, but I think we're probably going to stop it there. I feel like that's a good baseline for us to get into this album. Before I do, make sure wherever you are in the world, wherever you are, wave at the screen, even though I will feel that wave from a distance. Just wanted to commemorate this as the first stream. Little heart, little streamer heart. How about that? Like, thank you so much for coming, everybody, as we dive into this. Let's start with the only song I know, which is Sydney. I'll see if I can straighten that chat out while we're listening.
I fell in love with the city in the winter when everybody leaves in such a warm weather. I left my love just so we could be together, and I'd visit the monuments in an effort to console her. Make my way to Elizabeth Street, underneath the naked love and black trees, looking for someone to recognize me, so I can hear my voice for the first time in weeks. You can go home now, the bags are done, but I'm forever home in these Sydney streets.
Just like that, we're off to the races. I love a blast of an album opener that's just like, less than a minute, like bam, super. I couldn't really remember this song, to be honest, because it's been a while since I've listened to it, even though it's the one that I know. But I think that sets like a wonderful stage for the album. It's clearly pandemic influenced, at least talking about this, at least the last couplet here, you can go home now, the bands are done. That feels like a relic of that era. But what I just love bands that have great place lyrics. Like, do you guys, what are some of your favorite like place lyrics? Throw those in the chat. You know, I feel like the Wonder Years has tons of them in Philadelphia. That's one of the reasons why I like them so much. But Elizabeth Street underneath the naked London plane trees. That's awesome. And that feeling, so I could hear my voice for the first time in weeks. That's like crushing. And remember that period of the pandemic where it was like there'd be times where you wouldn't talk to a soul. You'd just be going through your daily life, and then all of a sudden you'd realize, I didn't speak today. I feel like that's this is already off the charts for me. Just 60 seconds, and I want to hear more. So let's keep going. Life in slow motion.
Lucky numbers, existential signs, small superstitions keeping me alive. Praying to the emptiness for extra time to spend alone in my hotel as my life goes by. And in the chaos I find peace and quiet. Nothing means anything, I'm always tired. A flash of color before I expire, just a hug at the bar, another voice in the choir. And it's hard to explain, but I've been feeling this way, like I'm watching myself live my life outside of me.
Production.
Hold on, as life from my window seat moves on, everything is temporary. Hold on to seconds of life in slow motion. Everything is temporary. Here it comes, the chorus of the morning. Volumes merciless and overwhelming. Take my hand and walk with me to the glory of my ending. I'm nothing. Ain't that something? Hold on, as life from my window seat moves on, everything is temporary. Hold on to seconds of life in slow motion. Everything is temporary. In the chaos I find peace and quiet. Nothing means anything, I'm always tired. A flash of color before I expire, just a hug at the bar, another voice in the choir. It's hard to explain, but I've been feeling this way, like I'm watching myself live my life outside of me. Everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. Hold on, as life from my window seat moves on. Everything is temporary. Hold on to seconds of life in slow motion. Everything is temporary.
Oh, and I like how it completely pulls back at the end. Yeah, Enter Shikari vibes. I was actually just thinking the other day that I never really listened to Enter Shikari, and I don't have a reason to. So they're on my list. Will they make the stream? I don't know, but they're on my list. I feel like they're worth giving a shot. Yeah, this was good. This for me, I think, is a resting heart rate. It's solid. It doesn't have the same explosiveness. I feel like that's an interesting choice for an album, is to like explode out of the gate and then immediately pull back. That's like quite the interesting dynamic that I wonder how will like progress as we go. But the sentimentality of this, it's like a little sticky, you know, it's like a little bit saccharine and a little bit kind of on the nose, but I do I do really like it. It feels instantly relatable. Life from my window seat. That was like, for me, I was on the second floor of an apartment building, not an apartment building, actually, just a row home, a second floor of a row home. And so I had like a view out into the world where onto the street that people would play, and it specifically into a park where, kids would run around, or you'd see people sitting distances away from each other, and then gradually more and more life return. So it feels like it captured that really well to me. And this little segment to everything is temporary. In the chaos, I find peace and quiet. Nothing means anything. I'm always tired. It's both comforting and like disturbing, and fuels at once like peace and pessimism. And I find that to be a really relatable sentiment. So let's see. We just pulled back. I feel like also vocals. Already we're seeing a lot of colors from their vocalists. So let's see what kind of colors we get for track 3.
Questions without any answers. Do you not understand that the world is in the paper like you? Standard case of empty-handed to let the children have it instead of multiplying like show and tell. Hands are sweating in your trousers, staring at the ground while they're looking at the holes in your shoes. Cancer, domestic disaster. You learn to put your hands up because it was what you were taught to do. I wanna be like everyone else and be anyone but myself. Life is easy when you're beautiful. If I can be you, then fuck you. Life is empty when you're pocket full. Well, that's what they tell you, fuck you. Left you waiting in the rear view, standing by the door to the sound of he can hurt you anymore.
It's kind of the last time I saw that place, actually, I think.
Fast food, red and black and white news, eating on the floor in a red and green bag of football. I wanna live like everyone else, be anyone but myself. With smiling faces in a family portrait by the trophies on my shelf. I wanna live like everyone else, be anyone but myself. Life is easy when you're beautiful. If I can be you, then fuck you. Life is empty when you're pocket full. Well, that's what they tell you, fuck you. Life's not fair, but it's nearly over. Dying's cheaper than growing older. Life's not fair, but it's nearly over.
You know what that sounds like? Someone can figure it out, because I can't remember the name of that stupid song, but it's like that's like almost identical to that, it's like an indie song. I love it. It's very sing along.
Dying's cheaper than growing older.
It's not sampling.
Life is easy when you're beautiful. If I can be you, then fuck you. Life is empty when you're pocket full. Well, that's what they tell you, fuck you.
Now this is sampled, Nikki. Dirty old town. Yeah, that's at the end, a little bit of the Pogues, which I used in a theater production, an Irish theater play. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, I think that was fun. I mean, I'm stuck between resting and off the charts because I kind of want to like reserve off the charts for moments where I'm feeling like really aggressively in love with something. So I'm gonna give it a resting for now. We'll see. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but the sing along nature, so fun. The Matt and Kim section. I mean, it's very Matt and Kim, but you know, it's still fun. The sentiment, yes, I think what holds it back for me a little bit is it feels like it's going a little bit grander, a little bit less small moments, a little bit of a grander take on life. If you caught the lyrics there, talking about like basically the sentiment of being born into like a good hand, you know, like life is easy when you're beautiful. Life is not fair, but it's nearly over. If I can't be you, then fuck you. Life is empty with your pocket full. Kind of bland sentiment, but like a good sentiment nonetheless, in my opinion. Really do like the tension that's developing in this band between like upbeat, kind of like catchy, just fuzzy guitars, like sort of like old school fuzz, just like fuzz distortion, and more aggressive lyrical delivery. Like it seems like it's wavering between kind of lightness and aggression, especially with like in the last song those like higher picked atmospheric guitars. So let's see what we develop with My Inheritance.
It's been on my mind.
Really like the use of
Heard
synths
it all the time.
so far.
Wasted flesh on glorious design.
It's like light, but it's there.
Bathed in LED. Your back turned to me. A silhouette is all that I can see. Never wanted you to inherit my youth. There's something wrong with me. Now there's something wrong with you. What are we if not the things we do? Just another weekend on the edge of my bed. Corner of the room remakes my point of view. Another night barely made it through. Just another weekend on the edge of my bed. Wake up to the street lights, split my room in two. And in the dark, still belong to you.
I'm a little bit, so there's something personal taste thing that's gonna get under my skin with this song a little bit. That little run feels like it's, you know, like a electronic song, like electronic pop songs. I wish I could like pull one. I definitely can't pull one off the top of my head, but it sort of sounds like those vocal samples that are in a lot of like kind of electronic pop songs, or even like EDM songs at sort of like to punctuate something vocally. And that bothers me. I feel like they all sound the same, and like not the songs per se, but that like sample all sounds the same. And I don't think this is a sample. It's probably the vocalist just like pitched up. But I'm gonna feel like I'm listening to, you know, like something very much not this as I hear it.
Did the best you could.
Backbeat.
With what you had. 'Cause to make you bad. And I know I should, but I can't call you back. I hope you understand that. Never wanted you to inherit my youth. There's something wrong with me, now there's something wrong with you. What are we if not the things we do? Just another weekend on the edge of my bed. Corner of the room remakes my point of view. Another night barely made it through. Just another weekend on the edge of my bed. Wake up to the street lights, split my room in two. And in the dark, still belong to you. I wish I could love you. And I wish you were dead. And I wish I could love you. And I wish you were dead. And I wish I could love you. And I wish you were dead.
That was My Inheritance. Feel like that's arresting for me as well. But I do really think that the layering of sort of the tracks and the layering of the instruments as we've progressed through this album is like a real strength of this band so far. You know, there's like the very light synth pads in the beginning to sort of a rhythm guitar with like another sort of more droning, like higher pitched guitar, and then there's the vocal samples, and the drums sound really good underneath all this. They sound like nice and crisp. So I'm appreciating the arrangements of these songs. This one is like so zoomed in, and I find it really easy to relate to whenever they zoom in on like a specific moment, you know, like just the weekend on the edge of your bed and the street lights, things like that. There's this you that's showing up, you know, whether it's a lover or somebody else. I mean, the lover makes most sense, but it could be somebody else that's appearing. And it feels like the sentiment of like, I wish I could love you and I wish you were dead. That's an intriguing sentiment, and I'm not quite sure, based around the other parts of this song, it stands out as a little bit different. So I'm curious, are we going to see other references to this you? Will they be the same you or different yous? You know, what's the relationship here, and how's it developing? Also, underrated aspect so far too, this album moves. I mean, we're already about onto track 5 of 14. These are pretty short songs. You see here the length of this album is only 40 minutes. 40 minutes, but 14 songs. So they're really like speeding through in a good way, I think. I think these things don't overstay their welcome. They introduce an idea, they see that idea through the conclusion, maybe evolve it a little bit along the way, and then we're on to the next thing, which so are we with Blue-Eyed Boy, the song about life.
One on the right-hand wall. Knock because he locks his door, and we don't see him anymore. Before I knew I'm back again, I would give back everything to stop this ever happening. 'Cause I can't even look at you and see my friend. Let me in, understand. I'm asking you as your best friend. I can't fix this thing you did, 'cause I can't see Blue-Eyed Boy dead. Let me in, understand. I'm asking you as your best friend. It's worse than you think it is, and I can't see Blue-Eyed Boy dead. Cloud of smoke, window closed, it makes me choke. Hide behind your small talk jokes, but I can see you're bent and broke, and we have no new memories. I
don't wanna do about you either.
Endlessly about when you and I were teens. Does that not tell
Good idea. Didn't pan out.
Oh, how the needle stings. I'd still die for you, but not for me. Best believe I've tried everything. Let me in, understand. I'm asking you as your best friend. I can't fix this thing you did, 'cause I can't see Blue-Eyed Boy dead. Let me in, understand. I'm asking you as your best friend. It's worse than you think it is, and I can't see Blue-Eyed Boy dead. I'd still die for you, but not for me. Best believe I've tried everything. Do it for yourself, if not for me. Can't you see it's taking everything?
Yeah, man. That's easily an off the charts for me. I feel like this is what the intro promised to me. And see, I just added it to my liked songs. I guess that's a fun aspect of this that I don't think I've experienced yet. I need like a sound effect for that or something. This is it's addressing something that's so serious and like dark. Sorry, I've got frogs in the throat. Something that's so serious. This idea of like, this idea I can't see Blue-Eyed Boy dead. Presumably, I'm assuming that the Blue-Eyed Boy is the you in this song. Like someone who's depressed or upset. Maybe they did something. Maybe it's just a perceived thought that they did something, but that there's this like reminiscence of someone who's depressed and just wanting desperately to reach them because you see how deeply they're hurting and wanting to do whatever you can do to help them or fix them or bring them out of that funk. And this idea, it's worse than you think it is. I'm asking you as your best friend, let me in. This pleading, it's really intense. All of this is like, it's so emotionally intense against the backdrop of like an incredibly kind of energetic and poppy and produced sound. And I find that to be like the beautiful tension of this music sometimes, is that it's, there's that section where things pull back and it's just like a light keys and the processed drum samples that come in. And it's, that would be right at home in kind of your standard like radio rock fare, but the emotional content wouldn't be. So I love how this is again proceeding through those like expansive and small like different segments of the song that are either expansive or compressed and small. But this is the first one where I'm like, this is even more emotional, even more specific than the rest of the album has been. And that's a real gut punch. So see where we go from here. Run away, come home.
That's where I ran out of road, left a little of my soul there. Broke down, come back home, mama life didn't do me fair. Gotta go fast, can't stop here, no time to catch my breath. Never thought I'd end up alone, never thought it'd break my back. Say nothing, just needed to hear your voice. Keep pushing on nothing to see your little boy. Cause I've been gone so long that I can barely see your face. And now you're just a photograph I kept to take your place. What the years have done to me, am I the man you said I'd be? Cause I've been gone so long that I can barely see your face. Run away, come
You do it well. Every time they go back, they do it in a different way. With the processed drums, it's those vocal harmonies, the processed harmonies. That's the way to do it. It's different.
Time passes ever by, the sailboats in the night, silent out of sight. Well, you recognize me still, because I tend to kill the good that you instilled. Say nothing, just needed to hear your voice. Keep wishing on nothing to see your little boy. Cause I've been gone so long that I can barely see your face. And now you're just a photograph I kept to take your place. What the years have done to me, am I the man you said I'd be? Cause I've been gone so long Am I the man you said I'd be? 'Cause I've been gone so long that I can barely see your face. Run away, come home.
Didn't expect it to end with that interval. Come home instead of resolving. But anyway, that I love that song. I feel like that's another off the charts for me. That's it feels like so what I was saying earlier, the thing that I was like really jazzing on about with this song, reacting to it in the moment, I didn't want to stop it because I loved what I was hearing in the second. Was the really processed vocals. So they did the thing where they pulled back again, they got quieter. And when they did it, what I love about this album so far is that they do that a lot. They pull back and then they get really like explode with volume or build another layer onto it. But this time when they pulled back with those like harmony vocals, the processed like effects laden harmonies. And that was new for them. Every time that they pull back, it's like a little trick. It's a little like songwriting trick that bands can do, and it makes it seem like it's got this power because then it's going to explode into all this song, into this volume and this like much louder dynamic section. Every time they pull back, they do so differently. Like the last song, it was with the sort of like processed drum envelope that like came in. This time it was with the like effects, the vocoder effects. And in the beginning, I think it was the second Life in Slow Motion, I believe, it was just about like just letting it be just the vocals, like quieter. And I feel like that gives the album a lot more dynamicism, where it's like, yeah, I see the songwriting trick you're using it, but they're unafraid to experiment with exactly how to get there. And that's really fun to me. As far as like the commentary over the music goes, don't worry about it. I'll either stop or kind of bring it down. I've got control of that too. So hopefully I will just do a little bit better of that as time goes on. Let's see. Let's get to the halfway point of this thing. Let's go to Burden. Another short song, Music League eligible track.
Roll me onto my side and clear my airways and watch me lie in the mess I've made. Don't be scared for me. I do this to feel something. Ask you from the tile on the bathroom floor if you had time to come save my life. If you're busy, I'll be fine. If you're busy, I'll be fine.
Yeah, sure. Resting heart rate on that one. Not enough of an idea to make it an off the charts, but I feel like it's still an emotional gut punch, that idea, particularly not so much the lying on the bathroom floor, that's very emotional too, but if you're busy, I'll be fine. If you had time, oh, do you have time to come save my life? That's something very relatable to all of you. Anyone who feels like that they are constantly a burden or they could be a burden, that's like, whew, that's getting right to the heart of it. So halfway point, let's get to the second half with Sean, which I do know a little bit more about because of my research.
We hit every red light on the way to those you left behind. Something just don't sit right with suicide and sunshine.
It's the album title! They said it!
Top 40 on the radio. I'm racing, but we move so slow. Familiar smell of dead friend. The moment that I got that message that you left on the mirror by your bed came through. You apologize apologized again, like you did too often. And this time it's not alright, but I forgive you.
Now I'm pulling at the side, trying to cover up the hole that you left. Telling everyone it's gonna be fine when it never is.
And I'll never have the words to say what you meant, so I won't.
Just one more fight, my friend, and you're gonna be home.
The first thing that I thought of when I heard that you had killed yourself was how stupid I'm about to look, with my foot inside of my mouth. 'Cause the last thing that I said when you were still around was, you do this for attention, or you'd have killed yourself by now. Message that you left on the mirror by your bed came through.
That's an intense one.
You apologized again, like you did too often. And this time it's not alright, but I forgive you.
Now I'm pulling at the side, trying to cover up the hole that you left. Telling everyone it's gonna be fine when it never is.
And I'll never have the words to say what you meant, so I won't.
Just one more fight, my friend, and you're gonna be home. And I keep thinking you're gonna walk up those stairs, slowly running your fingers through your hair.
No one here said a lot since you did what you did.
'Cause if we don't talk, then you're not really dead.
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I actually had a really lovely evening.
Yeah, nice. This listen up. That looks nice.
Hot skull B.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, that's alright. Let's go chill.
Now I'm pulling at the side, trying to cover up the hole that you left. Telling everyone it's gonna be fine when it never is.
And I'll never have the words to say what you meant, so I won't.
Just one more fight, my friend, and you're gonna be home. And I keep thinking you're gonna walk up those stairs, slowly running your fingers through your hair.
And no one here said a lot since you did what you did.
'Cause if we don't talk, then you're not really dead.
Wow. That gets a plus from me. That really punched me pretty hard in the throat, in the gut, all of the above. I think this is a good song. This is a great example of like why this is a weird way to take this maybe, but sometimes people turn off immediately when they hear screaming in music. And I get it. It's really harsh and aggressive, and it's not what we're used to hearing in music. But when John, the vocalist, says stairs the two times that it comes up, I feel like the way that that comes out of that man's voice and body is the chilling, raw emotion of grief, and it comes out, it manifests in a scream, not a beautifully sung high note, but not that there's anything wrong with that either. It's just raw, and it kind of goes flat at the end, and it's just like pushed out of him. He's giving every ounce of emotion that he can, and I think that's like, that may have been one of the most like powerful like single bars that I've heard so far this year. This is autobiographical from what I've done in my research. This is about his friend, Sean, presumably, and the titular lyric at the top, "Suicide and Sunshine." That's the autobiographical part as well. According to John, it was sunny when he got the news. But this is just from the beginning of these snippets of everyday life, top 40 on the radio, even the message that you left on the mirror, just like these little snapshots, almost like a montage, that then kind of like capitulates into this very poignant, intense elegy of grief here. And I mean, of course, we kind of already addressed this couplet, that's a very devastating feeling to grapple with as the author and the person who we're hearing sing those lyrics. So rating wise, it's an off the charts for me for sure. I find it to be unlikely that this band can top that. We'll see. It's such a, again, beautiful, like quiet, loud dichotomy, and definitely a peak halfway through the album. So let's go to What Hurts the Most, which is clearly not a cover. Let's see if my prediction comes true.
It's a feeling outside of common sense, like I'm bleeding without the evidence. It's a reason to unpick these stitches, to call again and ask you how you've been. me, but there's just something about you that I can't help but value. What would you think if you saw me now? Don't feel like I've changed till I think about when we were brothers, when we had it all figured out. Where you hide those years with me, or did you kill me off completely? When we were brothers, when we had it all figured out.
Yeah. I think it's smart following up Sean with this, where it's just like kind of purely uplifting from a songwriting standpoint, not content, not lyrically content, but it's purely like uplifting with like major key guitars and like a driving beat, you know, sonically kind of takes us back to earth. Yeah, I agree, Mike. Definitely appreciate the variety here. I think this is probably resting for me. I enjoyed it a lot. It's just hard to follow up Sean with this, with anything really. It's interesting that like I want to know more about the narrative of this song, because it like clearly this person, like the addressed person, and this is like absolutely fucked over the singer. You know, there's like the line about lying. Obviously it's this person is not in the singer's life anymore, in the narrator's life, I should say. There was this idea that I know I personally resonated with, but not, it's like the idea of imagining your past, like people from your past, people who are no longer in your life, trying to think about what they think of you now, is definitely like, that's an interesting thought experiment, right? Like, I moved a bunch as a kid, so I feel like there are plenty of people from my past, I mean, childhood or whatever, who I maybe were friends with, but like didn't really keep in touch with. You know, maybe they were secondary figures in my life. There's some primary figures who matter a lot to me from that time, but there's some secondary figures too, who, like, why would we still be in contact? We wouldn't be. We all lose contact with those people. I would be curious to think, like, what if they see me, would they be like, oh my God, that's that nerdy kid with glasses. He's got a YouTube channel now. He's streaming. I remember him as writing a short story about aliens and how the fifth grade class is going to conquer them. Fifth grade class is going to defend the world against aliens. You know, like that's what I was getting into. I don't know if they think maybe some of them will be a subscriber someday. If so, shout out Mr. Krause, Coldbrook Elementary. Let's go on to OMW. Not BMW. OMW. Cowbell.
On my way, start on the bottom like they say, and I'm starting to see changes in me. Could be someone that deserves
Triangle.
you one day. On my way, careful what you wish for, 'cause you
I don't know if that was actually a triangle. Might have just been a symbol.
all that you want from me is quiet inside. All I can offer you is some peace of mind. I'm gonna make it there, I'll be alright. And everything turned out just fine, but I still wanna die. On my way, empty apologies leave stains
part reminds me of like Everclear, like the 90s.
Some peace of mind. I'm gonna make it there. I'll be alright. Everything turned out just fine, but I still wanna die. I'm doing better. Keep it together. I'm doing better. I'm gonna make it there. I'll be alright. Everything turned out just fine, but I still wanna die.
Okay, glitch. All right. That I don't think it's a flat line. I think it's a resting. It's a low resting for me. That was definitely my least favorite song so far on the album. I just didn't feel like the contrast worked for me quite like I wanted it to between the Everclear section, as I don't know if you could hear me, but I reference this sort of sounds like, reminded me of like 90s rock, like radio rock, and then to the more, I mean, also equally 90s radio rock, but more like a power chord driving section. Just didn't get it for me. And the sentiment, I mean, I don't know. It didn't grab me either, particularly. Just sort of like trying to, I feels like it's about trying to like become someone different, in the sake of like, appeasing the world or trying to feel better, but then ultimately like you don't feel any better. Strong idea, just didn't connect with me personally as much. So let's go to Kill. Nice. We haven't heard the bass a whole lot. So now it's time.
Everybody said that you're no good for me, but you look so pretty when you're lying through your teeth.
So I don't normally listen to music with Spotify lyrics view up, and last week we listened to Paleface Swiss, which had some, all-timer lines like "fuck you, Jesus" that you could like see, crawling up from the bottom as it scrolls up because things show up before you hear them, and that was an interesting experience to sort of see a lyric before you hear it. And then like every now and then I've noticed a lot more, now that I've had it up a lot more, I've noticed typos like this, and it takes me out of the music. It's unfortunate. It's like, there should be a way to kind of user correct typos, and maybe there is. If there is, let me know in the comments if you can like submit a correction on Spotify lyrics, because the idea that this lyric is "you look so pretty when you're lying through your teethy" is hilarious. And even if that's officially the lyric, that's absolutely not what he said. We'll play it again, see what we can get to. Keep those ears peeled. Tell me if you hear teeth or teethy, because I didn't hear teethy, and that's too funny.
Everybody said that you're no good for me, but you look so pretty when you're lying through your teeth, and it hurts so good when you pick him up.
That was teeth.
Yeah, it could have been bad if you meant something to me. Sneaking suspicion, I left to regret. Then the days I spent in your bed telling secrets as friends. Use me just like a plaything. If you can't have it, then no one ever will. Sometimes
feedback. Nice. That's a new color for them too. Okay. That's solid. I think that's arresting. I think that's a solid resting heart rate. I really think the chorus is catchy. This might be one of the catchiest choruses. This is going to be the one that sticks with me. Is just the like ba, 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 ba. It feels familiar. I'm not sure why. If you know why, if that reminds you of another song, drop that in the chat. I can't pull it right now. I also really appreciated, yet again, I expected around this part, I expected it to like amp up in intensity. And instead, it gets pulled back, and like the vocals are clear as a bell, light and like a little bit lighter, sung a little bit more lightly, and that kind of continues with the layering. They just layer on top of that as the song goes on, and that layering builds the intensity as opposed to just pure vocal power. These guys are so good. John Floriani, the vocalist here, I'm so impressed at how much he uses like the lighter part of his voice, just pulling back and reserving that scream or the grit to like really add emphasis. I mean, it's contrast through subtraction in a wonderful way. So, Sweet Soft Sound is next.
Fire meets wax, the death of this candle, smoke reaches out
We
for
have our
the
ballad.
room. My eyes adjust in the vacuum of light as day turns to dark shade of blue. Laugh at the odds, being born at the same time, let alone being here in my room. And it's just like me to be here crunching numbers when I could just be here with you.
Ooh, relatable.
Wrapped in lanes of flowing white marble, it's hard to believe you are real. Tell me, how does it feel? Tell me, how does it feel? I see the meaning of life in your eyes. It's like swimming in the ocean at night.
Lame simile.
And when I'm with you, it's like I'm on fire. Nothing is real outside myself and your smile lines.
Solid, though.
Bring me down with sweet soft sound. My name, the way it sparkles when it leaves your mouth. Fill my soul with you. One of these days, your shell will wilter, your chocolate hair will turn white. I'll do my best to still be here with you, but to myself I've been unkind. So while I'm still here, I need to tell you that all that I want with my time is when you look back in your last moments, that you see a beautiful life. Left the weight of my life behind me, and all that ahead is now you. Are you coming too? Tell me you're coming too. I see the meaning of life in your eyes. It's like swimming in the ocean at night. And when I'm with you, it's like I'm on fire. Nothing is real outside myself and your smile lines. Bring me down with sweet soft sound. My name, the way it sparkles when it leaves your mouth. Fill my soul with you.
Okay. I think that's arresting. I was flirting with off the charts for a second, but I think it's arresting. I feel like I made fun of, I don't know if you could hear me, I made fun of the line in here. It's like I see the meaning of life in your eyes. It's like swimming in the ocean at night. I said that was lame because that's like, I mean, how many songs compare our eyes to oceans and swimming? And same thing, when I'm with you, it's like I'm on fire. That's like tale as old as time, right? But then it immediately, like, it charmed the hell out of me. This song just like charmed me to a T. Nothing is real outside myself, and your smile lines, like, that's so great. And I feel like the gentleness here and that really produced way that it kind of ends, with sort of those slide guitar sort of sounds and those gentle synths that creep in. This charmed me as, the ballad, one might say. I feel like this is a shout out to the producer, this song, like, and the songwriting for sure, but like the producer, to me, this is like a song that the producer, or at least whoever worked on the production, gets a lot of credit for the goodness of this song, because there's a lot happening production wise, and there's a lot of layers and sounds, and like it has a lot of effects happening, but I think it just works. It's just like just enough of a touch, anchored by that acoustic guitar and John Floriani's vocals. Solid. So let's go to Stay Here, which may be the last real song. Epilogue might be short. Let's find out.
On the road, so close to the curb, you feel the cars on your clothes. Just one step would tear your skin from your bone. You're still here, no one cares. Go so deep that you forget where you are. Nothing good ever makes it down this far. Scare yourself with what you lose to the dark. Are you there? Sit and stare. Wasted watching my replacement. I could never make you smile like that. Made it so close I could taste it. I could never make you smile like that.
I tried my best, but I don't belong here. Take the rest, let me keep my dignity, and let me walk away.
Shade of blue you love in late afternoon. The curtains dancing off the wall in your room. If you go now, no one will care like you do. You're still here, persevere. Wasted watching my replacement. I could never make you smile like that. Made it so
Again,
close
shout
I
out
could
that bass.
taste it. I could never make you smile like that.
I tried my best, but I don't belong here. Save your breath, 'cause I don't
A
believe
chorus of angels.
it. I tried my best, but I don't belong here. Take the rest, let me keep my dignity, and let me walk away. So busy looking for a reason to stay. You missed the waving in your face every day.
If you go now, you only pass on your pain. Stay here.
Yes, the organs and the choir. Come on now. That's so good. I feel like the song itself, we'll do it. It's an off the charts. I'm so thrilled by the inclusion of the organ and the choir that it like really excited me beyond what it should have. The song itself, I feel like is solid. I really love the opening. These first four lines feel so strong to me. Watching the shadows chase the lights on the road so close to the curb, you feel the cars on your clothes. All those C's. Oh, it's so chewy. And then just one step would tear your skin from bone. You're still here. No one cares. God, oh, I feel like that's really some of the peak songwriting, not the peak, but some of the peak songwriting on this album so far for me. And you gotta love it. Every time I feel like this band has like used up its last trick or its last like notes to play, it says, well, how about a pipe organ? You know, you could have that if you want. The bass sound in the middle of that sounded really, really excellent. Let's take it home. Bring it home, boys. Epilogue. Let's see.
If I could go back in time, filthy carpet and fluorescent light, played so loud that my ears still ring at night. A souvenir from the best years of my life. Where does it go when we leave? Blood, sweat and tears, microphone chips on my teeth. I bled for you because you believed in me. It's who I am, it's what we share underneath. And what a spectacular view, yeah, that I had of you, yeah, that I had of you, had of you. And I just didn't want to die in my hometown. Look at me now, look at me now. And all I wanted was to make all of you proud. It's for you now, it's all for you now. The only constant is change. Change is loss and always followed by pain. When we remember, it's never the same. It's like I said, everything goes away. And there's some things I still need to do. I hope I entertained you. I hope I entertained you. Entertained you. And I just didn't want to die in my hometown. Look at me now. Look at me now. And all I wanted was to make all of you proud. It's for you now. It's all for you now. My regret, since you never had the chance to say yourself from where I stand. And I just didn't want to die in my hometown. Look at me now, look at me now. And all I wanted was to make all of you proud. It's for you now, it's all for you now. My only regret is that you never had the chance to trade places with me and see yourself from where I stand. What a spectacular view that I had of you.
Nice. Yes, Nick, you made it just in time. Oh my God, now I'm just playing Arm's Length for some reason. Yeah, no, that was a banger. Mike was right. Well, why is it not letting me play that? Here we go. Mike was right in the chat. Banger alert. This is like also the most pop punk sort of like just straight, like the kind of normal straight ahead pop punk that Trophy Eyes has sounded on this album, at least. I'm not sure about previous albums. And I gotta wonder, you know, this line, I just didn't want to die in my hometown. I mean, that's a powerful line in and of itself, but there's also the meme that like country music is like, I lived and died in my hometown, yay, and pop punk music is like, I lived and died in my hometown, boo. And of course, you know, like there's countless examples of bands wanting to or not wanting to die in their hometown. You know, the Wonder Years, Operator, Take Me Home, something, oh, I want to die in the suburbs, you know, and that's where they're from. So this is so clearly the culmination, the wrap up to that sentiment that I referenced in the beginning of this album cycle, where they came into this being like, this is our last album. They came into this saying, we're done. And this is clearly the full encapsulation of that, where the narrator is saying like, I wanted to make you proud. And I think to some extent I did it. You know, I hope I entertained you. Maybe I'm not like 100% certain. I still feel that feeling of that all performers, all entertainers feel of like, gosh, did I do what I wanted to do? But, you know, look at me now. I think if this is the note that Trophy Eyes were to go out on, this is the sort of like, this is the sentimental, but, you know, victory lap, so to speak, for them. Obviously, it's not completely pure ecstasy and happiness. This idea of trading places to see the people in the audience, but like, I guess that's what I take away with this. The you in this song is really all of us, is all of the people who saw Trophy Eyes at some point, like in the audience goers of their concerts. You know, I bled for you because you believed in me. What a spectacular view I had of you. I think that's a really beautiful sentiment. Especially to just like unabashedly end your album about ending your band on that. I think that's an off the charts. I don't think I gave this a rating yet, but this is off the charts. That is the conclusion of Trophy Eyes, Suicide and Sunshine. And what a conclusion. What a great album. I feel like this is in some ways the polar opposite of the album we listened to last week, the Paleface Swiss album, because this is like short, everything's short and condensed, and it's accessible. It uses heaviness sparingly. Comparison is not the point. The point is that this album it flew by for me, and if I had to rate it out of a number, I think I'm going 9 on this guy. I'm going to definitely return to this in the future. Definitely return to a lot of these tracks sparingly because they're so intense, but it feels really strong and really makes me want to listen to the prior albums from this band. Is this an evolution for them? Is this more of the same? I mean, I like it, so more of the same would be cool. Is this like a right turn? You know, like I could see them being much more standard, like kind of straightforward earlier in their career, but maybe they weren't. Maybe they were always this dynamic. Yeah, J Dandy 812 said it right. This is a dynamic album. What a great one to kick off the stream with. And as far as looking ahead to the future, Mike, no, don't spread rumors like that. Next week, the analysis and don't listen to him. Next week, we're back on Monday, not Tuesday. Obviously, social media will have the correct time, but same time, different day. We're coming back on Monday, and we're listening to the newest album by Too Close to Touch called For Keeps, which I think will be a very special listen for anyone who knows the history of that band. And if you're worried that you're going to forget that it's on Monday, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell, get notified. You can actually see it's already a scheduled stream. So if you go to my channel and look for it in the live section, it should be there, and you should be able to click the notification bell for that too. Thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for joining so much. This is a very special debut. I hope to be doing this every week. We had whether I see all of you again or whether it's a different set of folks in here, none of that matters. All that matters is that I appreciate you for being here from moment one. Thank you so much. It really does mean the world to me. And of course, as all of you know already, I've got my finger on the pulse of music. I'm Josh. See you next week.